In today's video, we'll uncover the surprising history behind the Israel-Iran conflict. Once close allies, now bitter enemies. What changed after the 1979 revolution? How did secret partnerships turn into proxy wars? And what does it mean for the Middle East today? Hi, welcome to YS News, the platform where truth meets insight. Let's get started. The story begins after the formation of Israel in 1948. Though most Muslim countries refused to recognize the Jewish state, Iran, under Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, quietly established a relationship with it. In fact, Iran was the second Muslim-majority country to do so. This wasn't about ideology, it was about strategy. The Shah viewed Arab nationalism and communism as bigger threats than Israel, and Israel saw Iran as a powerful non-Arab neighbor that could help it break out of isolation in the region. Behind closed doors, Iran and Israel engaged in significant cooperation. They shared intelligence, conducted joint military training, and even collaborated on infrastructure and oil deals. One of the most important examples was Project Flower, a secret missile development project. Under this deal, Iran supplied oil to Israel, and Israel helped Iran with advanced military technology. But all of that changed in 1979. The Islamic Revolution overthrew the Shah and brought Ayatollah Khomeini to power. This new regime viewed Israel as an illegitimate occupier and enemy of Islam. Khomeini called Israel the Little Satan and severed all diplomatic ties. He handed the Israeli embassy in Tehran over to the Palestine Liberation Organization. From that moment, Iran's position became clear. No recognition, no cooperation, only resistance. The revolution was not just political, it was ideological. Iran saw itself as the leader of the Islamic world, and opposing Israel became a pillar of that mission. The shift wasn't just symbolic, it was strategic. Iran began to support militant groups that opposed Israel, especially Hezbollah in Lebanon. With Iranian funding, training, and weapons, Hezbollah became one of Israel's most dangerous enemies. But the story doesn't end there. During the 1980 to 1988 Iran-Iraq War, something unexpected happened. Despite their hostility, Israel covertly sent arms to Iran. Why? Because Iraq, under Saddam Hussein, was seen as a greater threat to both countries. This secret cooperation was part of what later became known as the Iran-Contra affair. It showed that even amid hatred and rhetoric, national interest could lead to unlikely actions. However, this fragile thread of cooperation quickly snapped. After the war, Iran doubled down on its support for groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. Its goal was to export its Islamic Revolution and resist Western and Israeli influence. Iran also built proxy networks across the Middle East, in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen. Meanwhile, Israel responded with a campaign of covert operations. This included cyber attacks like the Stuxnet virus that sabotaged Iran's nuclear program and targeted assassinations of Iranian nuclear scientists. This ongoing shadow war kept tensions high for decades. But things became much more dangerous in the 2000s. Iran's nuclear ambitions became the central issue. Iran insisted it was enriching uranium for peaceful energy use, but Israel and Western nations suspected otherwise. In 2015, the nuclear deal known as the JCPOA was signed, limiting Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. Israel opposed the deal from the start, calling it weak and dangerous. In 2018, the United States, under President Trump, withdrew from the agreement. After that, tensions escalated rapidly. By 2023, Iran had resumed uranium enrichment at a high level. Israel saw this as a red line. In June 2025, things reached a boiling point. Israel launched a large-scale military operation called Operation Rising Lion. It targeted nuclear facilities, IRGC bases, and key weapons sites deep inside Iran. Iran responded by launching drones and missiles towards Israeli territory. For the first time, both nations had directly attacked one another. The decades-long Cold War between them had turned hot. This moment marked a shift, from indirect conflict to open confrontation. In just 2 generations, Israel and Iran went from silent allies to bitter enemies. What began as a pragmatic partnership in the 1950s transformed into an ideological, strategic, and military rivalry. Iran's revolutionary goals and support for proxy forces directly threaten Israeli security, and Israel's military strikes and diplomatic pressure seek to contain Iran's regional influence and nuclear ambitions. The roots of this conflict run deep, and the future remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the Israel-Iran rivalry is now one of the most dangerous flashpoints in the modern Middle East. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to YS News. We bring you the real stories behind global events. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay empowered.